I never thought my life could take such a devastating turn. My marriage to Rachel had been, at least on the surface, perfect. We had 2 children, a home, and a life that friends and family envied. I trusted her completely, never imagining that behind my back, a world of lies and betrayal was unfolding. It all began when Rachel started acting strangely. She was distant, defensive, and constantly on edge. I brushed it off at first, convincing myself it was stress or work-related. But then, small inconsistencies began to pile up. Texts she quickly deleted, secret phone calls, unexplained absences. A gnawing suspicion took root, and I knew I had to find out the truth. I hired a private investigator discreetly. Within weeks, I had proof that Rachel was having an affair, but what I discovered next was unimaginable. I decided to take DNA tests for our children, just to confirm what my gut feared. The results shattered my world. Neither child was biologically mine. In fact, one of the fathers was my own brother. Shock, disbelief, and rage collided all at once. I felt like my entire life had been a lie. The woman I loved, the children I raised, even the family I trusted, had all been poisoned by betrayal. The thought that I was, in a twisted way, the uncle of my own children made me physically sick. My marriage, my family, my very identity had been manipulated and destroyed. I didn't react impulsively. Instead, I carefully planned my revenge. This wasn't just about emotional retaliation. It was about reclaiming control and ensuring that Rachel faced the consequences of her choices in every possible way. I documented everything: messages, emails, evidence of her affair, and the DNA test results. Every detail mattered. Then came the confrontation. I waited for a moment when Rachel was alone. Calmly, I laid everything out, every piece of evidence, every betrayal, every lie. Her face went pale and she stammered, trying to explain, to excuse, to manipulate. But it was too late. I had all the proof I needed, and I was in control. I filed for divorce immediately. Custody arrangements were complicated, but I ensured the children's well-being remained the priority. Financial settlements reflected not just the standard legal expectations, but also the emotional and psychological damage caused by her deceit. She had gambled with trust, family, and morality, and lost. But my revenge didn't end there. I made sure her affair, the shocking DNA revelation, and the betrayal were known to key family members. The people who mattered, my parents, my siblings, close friends, saw the full scope of her lies. Rachel had carefully hidden her infidelity for years, but now the truth was undeniable and public. She had to face the social, emotional, and familial fallout, and it was devastating. I also cut her off completely. Ghosting her was my final act of reclaiming control. I refused to respond to calls, messages, or attempts at negotiation. The woman who had manipulated me, betrayed me, and hidden the truth for years had no chance to manipulate or plead her way back into my life. I had taken back everything she tried to steal: dignity, control, and the ability to rebuild a life without deception. In the months that followed, I focused entirely on healing, stability, and rebuilding a secure environment for the children, my children in love and upbringing, even if not in biology. Friends and family supported me, helping me navigate the emotional aftermath and ensuring that the children's lives were as stable as possible. Looking back, I realized that true revenge isn't about anger or theatrics. It's about strategy, patience, and control. By uncovering the betrayal, documenting it meticulously, exposing Rachel to family, taking legal action, and cutting her out completely, I ensured the consequences were swift, undeniable, and permanent. Rachel had underestimated me. She assumed her deception would remain hidden, that her lies would continue without consequence. She was wrong. Her betrayal reshaped my life, our family, and her own place in the social circle she once took for granted. I didn't just survive infidelity and deception. I reclaimed my life and dignity, leaving her to face the devastation she created. In the end, this story is one of shocking betrayal and calculated revenge. Lies exposed, DNA revealed, legal and social consequences enforced, and ultimate control reclaimed. Rachel learned the hard way that betrayal has consequences, and some actions cannot be forgiven or forgotten.